Okay, I am going to begin a project, the multiple exposure project in Photoshop now. So right now I'm going from Bridge into Photoshop. The first thing you need to do is select which photos, or at least take a good guess at which photos you think you want. Now I've got a number of different fill images, a number of different portraits in here that I might use, but you've got to start someplace. You do not have to start with a portrait. You can start with any image you want to, but it does need to start out at 11 by 14. So I'm going to start with this portrait, or this picture here rather. I've already done my editing on it, which all your edits should be done in Camera Raw for this assignment. So I'm going to go, I've already opened it. You can either double click on it here or open it up in Camera Raw and then click Open Image, which will open it up in Photoshop, but I've already got it opened over here. So the first thing I want to do with the very first image is I want to do image size, and everything needs to be 150 resolution. So change your resolution. And yes, this is going to look different on your computer. I'm doing this from at home on a Mac, but generally everything's the same. Now, this picture is square here, so when I change the size, I'm going to change the largest dimension to 14. Whoops. I'm sneezing, sorry. Make sure that your dimensions are constrained. So it'll go 14 by 14 at 150. Make sure that stays the same. 150 resolution. Okay. It's going to be obviously quite a bit bigger now. I don't know whether I guess this picture's okay. All right, so that's where I'm going to start. And then I need to crop it. So I'm just going to pull out my crop tool. And I'm going to put in some dimensions here. 14 by 11 and see what that gives me. I think that's pretty good. Oops. 14 by 11, go back to my crop. I wanted to be able to move this around and see which way I want to go with this, whether I want to go up or down. Usually when you have a landscape photograph, you want to either make it about the sky or about the ground. I'm trying to decide what I like better. You know what? I think I actually like the beach part of this better, so I'm going to move it up. Kind of puts my horizon line right dead center. That's not, well, anyway, that's what I'm going to go with. So there it is. So sky and ground, and it's 11 by 14. All right, so that's the first thing I need to do. So once it's the correct size, what I would like you to do is go over to this layer, and regardless of which photograph you've put here, you're going to right-click on that, and I want you to duplicate the layer. That's how you start. You can name it anything you want to. Background copy is just fine. The reason why I have you to do that is because Photoshop is a destructive program, meaning that any pixels that I change on this photograph are going to remain changed. So later on, if I want to go back and say, nah, I want to start over with the original, if you've made any changes to that background copy, you would have to completely undo it or start over. So this just gives you the option to go back to that photograph. So at this point, to be safe, do File, Save As, and you're going to save this as a Photoshop document. Save it as, you know, I just want you to name it Portrait and then your first and last name. That makes it easier for me to know who it is. And then I'm saving it back in the same place, and save it as a Photoshop document. You know, you've got all these things in here now. Again, mine looks a little bit different than yours. Save it as a Photoshop document and just click OK. So there it is. Here's my picture that's saved up there. I also brought this one over ahead of time. And then the next step is I'm going to show you how to combine these things together.